I got the one and the other one was sitting a couple miles from my door. And the next thing said, sold! He's got the V8? No sh**. One of the more interesting purchases I've made this year. Said I wasn't gonna do it, but I did it. I just bought it. It was one of those like come to Jesus moments. It was obviously meant to be. Yeah, that's the one I need right there, that's it. He managed to talk me into buying the last two. Hey guys, just a little update. I want to give you some background on this other pink Charger, the one that we have in the shop right now that Cassidy and I are doing some work on. Basically, back in the day, my buddy had this pink Panther fetish, you might say. He ended up with 6 of the 99 pink Chargers ever made. He ended up with 6 of them. His dream, his vision was to take all these cars, totally restore them, take them to Barrett-Jackson and sell 6 pink 70 Chargers, one after the other. It would have been mind-blowing. But as in life, things changes, goals change, priorities change, and he decided to sell them all. So basically, he managed to talk me into buying the last 2. The one was the RT that our good buddy Lyle put together for us. We took it up to Prince George. We sold that one to a buddy of mine back east. And then we ended up with this other one. This other one, when I bought it, was basically a roof, some documentation, and a bunch of parts that I paid a really good buck for, but it did have all the parts. It had all the sheet metal. There was no front frame rails, there was no quarters, there was no floors, there was no firewall, it was just a bunch of parts. So basically the only original metal on the car with a dash, the package tray, the back filler panel, and the roof, and half of the quarters. So a good buddy of mine that doesn't like being on TV, I talked him into doing all the metal work, and then if you guys have watched the videos, you've seen what Cassidy has done. My buddy put all the metal work together. Cassidy did all the mud work. We've got it in sealer and primer, and as soon as I come back from this next road trip, we're gonna be tearing it apart, starting to paint the inside. It's gonna be an amazing build. It's only a 318 base model car, no options, but what it's got going for it is it's pure pink, and it's gonna have white upholstery. Right now, we've got some QA1 Stage 2 B-body suspension coming for it. We're trying to find a Gen 3 Hemi, a 6.4. I just bought a Tremec, a Challenger, T56 6-speed that has the slider for the drive shaft, not like the factory one that they used in the Challenger. So we are accumulating parts, and pretty soon we're going to get back on it. There's going to be some cool videos of this thing going from gray primer sealer to FM3 Panther pink with white upholstery and brand new Hemi running gear with a 6-speed and some QA1 Stage 2 suspension. Stay tuned. Today we're back at work on the 1970 Purple Super B. Actually, this car is in such good shape, otherwise pretty wild. We're gonna do some more sheet metal work. Should be good for another 55 years. I am having a good time with the current builds. They're both cool. That Super B was my first Super B. I own 5 now. I think it's the coolest one just because it was a 4-speed car, which is hard to find. Factory purple, which is cool. Post, which makes it rarer than a hard top. And it had the black vinyl top. The thing is gonna look amazing. Okay guys, you've seen the pictures of the Super B off and on over the years through the show. You saw when we came back last year and a big rock had fallen down and smashed the back quarter and by the window. Again, I've talked my buddy into doing some metal work. So basically we've got the quarters changed. The thing that was cool about this car was a factory purple car. It was a 2-door post, which is rarer than the hard top. It was a vinyl top car. And most importantly to me, it was a 4-speed car. So we've got that one. We've just done all of the metal work. It's got new floors, a new roof. We patched up the original quarters, had to do a little bit of grafting off our parts car. It's got new drop-offs. Basically, it's been sandblasted. It's in 2-3 coats of epoxy primer. Right now, we've just got to do a little bit of hammer and dolly work on it. Then we're going to be starting the mud work. So that's another one that's going to be put together here in the next 3 months. Hopefully, we're going to get it in the body work, into sealer, into high build, blocked and sanded and ready for paint. We've got a 426 Hemi for that one. We've got a Hemi 4-speed rebuilt by Jamie Passon in there. So it's a 18 spline Hemi tranny that's got an overdrive in it. So it's 1, 2, 3 overdrive instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. The guy does an amazing job on that stuff. Right now we're just determining what we're going to do for suspension. We've got a couple options going on, but again, it's gonna go back to a vinyl top. I just saw one done with a alligator skin top. We don't have the fender tag. I'm pretty sure it was just a boar grain vinyl top, but I'm thinking we just might step up to the alligator skin because we just saw one at the car show. So it's going to be a Hemi, a 4-speed, probably a gator top and factory purple. The thing's gonna look sick. Again, that's another one that we're really excited about. Once I've done my car show circuit here early in the spring, we'll be getting back to the shop and getting some work done on it. Stay tuned. One of the more interesting purchases I've made this year. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I did it. You know, I'm a glutton for punishment. Somebody sent me some pictures out of the blue. Didn't know this guy. I mean, he knew of me. And yeah,
The convertible,
yeah, well, he hasn't,
the Pontiac,
hasn't
the Chevy,
hasn't been posted
the
yet.
Pontiac.
Said, hey, do you know anybody that would be interested in a 57 Pontiac Laurentian convertible? So I said, I don't know anybody, but send me some pictures. Well, he sent me some pictures, and the next sentence or the next statement I sent back was, how much? And the next thing said, sold! Anyway, it's a super rare Canadian Laurentian Pontiac convertible, 1957. I think they made 713. I got to do some more research, but I'm pretty sure that was the number, 713. I mean, it just ticks off a lot of boxes. I was born in 57. I've always wanted a 57 Chev, a convertible, and the beauty of the Canadian Pontiacs is they're built on Chevy frames, Chevy running gear. A lot of the parts interchange. What a lot of people do up here in Canada is they take these Canadian Pontiacs by changing the front clip, the dash parts, and the rear quarters, as well as the trunk and the trim. You can actually make a 567 Pontiac into a 567 Chevy, as long as it's a Canadian Pontiac. But this one is so rare, I've given up my hopes of having a 57 Chev convertible, and I'm gonna say, I'm Canadian, eh? Let's do the 57 Pontiac. Well, we were over at our buddy Blair's place. Like my car, unfortunately, came with a straight six, but Blair, in his field of dreams, happened to have a 57 Pontiac Laurentian four-door post. All the exact trim, all the exact bumpers, grills, tail lights, headlights, and it's a factory V8 3-speed on the tree car. He's got the V8? No sh**. So I want to do a 4-speed conversion for mine. There's all my clutch pedals, all the linkage. There's the V8 motor mounts. And as a matter of fact, he says the engine runs. So this just might be a simple bring it back kind of to stock upgrade to a 4-speed, but it was pretty cool. I've got the car, we're gonna do it, and my buddy Blair happened to have a parts car, so it was one of those like come to Jesus moments. It was obviously meant to be. Yeah, that's the one I need right there, that's it. Spare chrome, spare like cool, right? I got the thing, then we found the parts car for it. So, I mean, there's not that many out there, so the fact that I got the one and the other one was sitting a couple miles from my door for all the parts and basically a template, because mine's totally disassembled. This one's totally all together. I have a template for putting mine back together and a bunch of spare parts. So it's gonna be another very cool build. It's not gonna be high tech. We might just do front disc brakes and maybe upgrade the steering, but basically it's gonna be bringing it back to what it was, more like a Sunday afternoon cruiser, not build it to drive it across the country like I've done with the last two cars. Gonna be a cheap restoration and just make it so it's a little safer, a little more fun to drive, but nothing over the top. Basically cut the rust out of it and we're gonna drive it. We have steering on the LeMans. It can go out of here. We've got a frame coming, but it's gonna be a while. Anyway, at least we got it so we can steer it, get it out of here. We need the hoist. And the next one we've got that we're just talking to our good friends at Lordco. We might be doing a joint build. If not, I'm still gonna build it, but I have wanted a GTO for a long time. It was part of my hit list. I've always loved the 66, 67 GTOs. Same thing, somebody sent me pictures of this car and said, you know, anybody wants it, and it's a 66 LeMans convertible. So it was a 326, it was a factory 4-speed, which again, ticks off a few boxes to me. Doesn't have the original motor. Frame's bad, but I think I've found a frame for it. We might have to do some mods to it to make it work, but it's really hard to find convertible frames. So basically we put a GTO hood on it, GTO grille. I'm not gonna change the tail panel, but to anybody that doesn't really know what they're looking at, I mean, the 66 LeMans is basically the same shape, same style as the 66 GTO. It's got the buckets. It was a 4-speed car. We might upgrade to I might just keep it a 4-speed since I have a bunch. Again, we're gonna try and do a build with basically the parts that you can get at Lordco, right? So it's not going to be over the top. It's not going to be $150,000. It's just, you've got the car. It was your dad's. It was your uncle's. You found it. You just want to bring it back just for some enjoyable driving without having to take a mortgage out on it. So stay tuned. Hopefully Lordco's going to team up with us. I mean, they're talking about it, and it's going to be a very interesting build. Basically, everything you can get from our good buddies in Lordco to restore a car. So stay tuned. Follow with us. It's going to be cool.